Hey everybody, welcome to GirlyGrrlStyle here over on YouTube. I am so happy to see you all today. We have a really special live today, and Bill is actually here. B, you should just pop in and put your head over here so everyone can see you, because it's weird doing these lives without Bill. I was just telling the guest, our special guest, that see, he's here. But today in our live, we are going to be chatting about TikTok. And I know a lot of you probably have questions about what is TikTok. When I put this out on social media, that was a lot of the responses I was getting. Like, really, is TikTok important? What is it? I don't get it. And it's not just the older generations that are saying, what is TikTok? And so there's a lot of talk about generations and who it's for. And I'm going to tell you, I think TikTok is for everybody. I'm a little addicted, I'm not going to lie. And I have learned some amazing things from my special guest that I'm going to bring on in just a second. And those amazing things are everything from how to, even do a cute little TikTok, to market your products, to just be yourself on, camera on TikTok, because it's a completely different format. So TikTok, what it is, if you wanted the quick version, it's just kind of a place where you can do short videos. I mean, that's honestly my quick little thing for you, but it's good for so many different reasons. So if you have TikTok, as we go through our live today, make sure you pop your handle down in the comments. We can all go in and follow each other and build up that reseller community. And without further ado, I'm going to bring in my special guests, and we will dive right in. So let me see. Here we go. Oh, actually, let's make it this way. Hey, ladies.
Hi.
Hi. So with us today, we have three amazing ladies who are really doing things over there on TikTok. And I'm really excited. I started following them, and as I mentioned, I've learned so much. So we're going to do quick introductions, and what we're going to have them tell us. In fact, let me see if I tried to set this up ahead of time, but we'll have them share their name, what their TikTok handle is, so you can go and follow them as well, where they sell online, because the purpose of this and the purpose of my channel is a reseller channel. So really, what platforms you utilize and how long you've been on TikTok. Now, I know that's a lot of questions, so if we forget, I will definitely prompt you, but I'll start because I know we also have a few viewers that have come over, actually a lot of viewers that have come over from your channels as well. So that's super exciting. But my name is Tori, and my handle is GirlyGrrlStyle across every platform. When I first started, I created a brand and I stuck with it, and luckily no one else had it. That's been really easy for me. I sell primarily on Poshmark and on Etsy with my handmade and vintage items. And I have not been on TikTok very long. I'm going to say a few months, maybe. B, how long do you think it's been? Like 4 months? Maybe like 4 months. Yeah, it hasn't been very long at all. I was using it to entertain myself for a long time, and now I'm starting to get into TikTok. So let's go ahead. That's a little bit about me, but these are the ladies you're here to see. So let's start it off, and I'm going to say, Meagan, you want to start?
Yeah. Hi. Okay. Well, my name is Stylish Bear on everything except for Instagram. It's Stylish Bear Closet, and I've been on TikTok for under a year, actually, if you can believe it. And I know it's kind of crazy. And I actually got on TikTok because of Gary Vee.
Oh,
who's like low key, like my father from another mother. I don't know. He's amazing. So I was like, oh, what's this? And then boom, I was on it. So, and then I sell mainly on Poshmark. I've dabbled in other things, but Poshmark has just kind of taken over my whole being.
Awesome. And the Gary Vee connection, I mean, he is so motivational, because when I was watching it as just a, viewer, he was always talking about get out there, just do it, just post it. Don't make it perfect. Just, post content, get it out there. And so I still find him super inspiring. He's a good one to follow for sure. Awesome.
Yeah. Fun fact is they told me I was like Gary Vee. People kept saying, do you know who that is? You talk like him. And I was like, stop. And then I watched and I was like, oh, I am kind of.
That's awesome. All right, let's head over to Mandy. So tag, you're it.
Hi guys, I'm Mandy, and you can find me on the platform or on Brick Road Co. on all platforms. So I didn't start out that way, but I was lucky enough to be able to unify and brand my business pretty early on. So I am Brick Road Co. not only on Poshmark, but I'm on TikTok as well. And I have actually been on TikTok since it was Musical.ly, believe it or not. So I have teenage daughters, and I'm always trying to keep up with what apps they're on because of safety reasons. And, I'm their mom. So I just want to make sure I know what apps they're using. So I actually downloaded the app back when it was Musical.ly, stuck with it through TikTok. But like Meagan, actually was very inspired by Gary Vee to start creating content. So I was a lurker for years, but Gary Vee really was like, just get in there and do it. It's one of the next big things. You won't regret it. And I was so inspired by him that I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and go for it. And I sell on 8 platforms right now. So Poshmark was my baby, and I started out there. And then I branched over to eBay. But I'm really excited to be doing Etsy right now as well. But you can also find me on Mercari, Depop, Kitizen, Facebook Marketplace, and I sell on Instagram. So I do it all. I dabble in all of it.
Excellent. Well, and I know you also, since you do a lot of cross-listing, work with like List Perfectly, and I think that is like a partnership you have. I saw you do a little thing with them, which was super cool. So that's awesome. Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you for being here. And yes, I too remember when it was Musical.ly, and I forget that. And then I always, when I think about TikTok, I'm always like taken back to Vine, because Vine was like, so I loved Vine so much. So it's kind of like,
Me too.
Right. The new thing. Perfect. Okay, awesome. And then last but not least, Logan.
Hi, I'm Logan. I'm junk food on all platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Poshmark, and then Junk Food Handmade on Etsy. Right now I sell on Poshmark and Etsy only, and Poshmark's kind of taken a back burner while I'm not going to the thrift stores, so Etsy's kind of been my big baby right now with my new products that I'm making by hand. And then I've been on TikTok for like 4 months. It has not been very long. And I got into it. A coworker of mine was like, let's just like get on TikTok and check it out. And we would send random videos to each other, and it was funny and cute. And then we started kind of making videos and sending them to each other. And then about a month ago, I actually started making more branded content for my junk food brand.
Awesome. Yeah. And you've had so much success. I mean, it's so inspiring what you're doing for branding for me. Like all 3 of you, I'm like, okay, I'm learning so much. And recently, Logan, yeah, I think you and I are similar in the handmade items, but I think, I know, Mandy, you do handmade items as well though, right?
I do. Yeah. So I dabble in a lot. I focus a lot on tie-dye in the beginning just because it was a trend and I was enjoying that. But my ultimate goal has been to upcycle and have more sustainable products. And I've always been an avid sewer. So COVID really just kind of gave me that push to be able to do, like Logan had talked about, like really start nurturing my baby of Etsy that I've had back here in my mind for so long. So
yeah. Well, and that's the thing. There's so many people that are doing things like this right now. So being able to market yourself is so important. So I think that's kind of the thing where we may be doing similar things, but we definitely have different brands and different aesthetics, and the marketing side is a little bit different. So one of the things too, an interesting fact is TikTok is one of the fastest growing apps like ever, I think. I downloaded some statistics because I thought it was super cool. There are 800 million active users. So thinking about how many people we can actually reach when you're thinking about your products and marketing, and users spend an average of 52 minutes a day on the app. So an average of, I'm thinking, so most people spend an average of an hour, and I'm like, ooh, that's scary because I spend way more time than that. But it is a really cool tool that is available. So let's go. So, we've talked a little bit about how you heard about TikTok or why you joined. But is there anything else you want to add to this? Because I think we kind of touched on it. But for me, I'll lead the conversation here. I heard about it. I don't even know how I heard about it. I don't even remember. I just remember someone probably sent me a TikTok video, and I'm like, what is this? I love music. I love lip syncing. I love dogs, like all these videos. And so I remember I was hesitant to download it. I wasn't sure. And then as soon as I did, I was addicted. So that's kind of any Anything else you want to add to that one?
I met Mandy there.
Oh, go ahead.
That's where I met Mandy.
Yes, we actually met on TikTok, not like through reselling.
Yeah.
So we met on TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's how I
We should be
found
friends.
you is on TikTok. Mandy and I actually live like 30 minutes away from each other, but
Lucky.
yeah.
That's crazy. That is crazy. So why did you join? So I know, you've been on for like 4 months and then since the beginning, Mandy, and, a little bit, but what was, was it just something that you wanted to use for social, or did you even think about the business aspects when you first joined? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Perfect. Mandy.
For me, definitely as far as creating content, it was 100% business oriented for me. Like I mentioned, I was inspired by Gary Vee, but I also found that as I was growing my Instagram account, there were similar insights for pro accounts over on TikTok. So you could really look at the same type of usability with hashtags and how to market your business. And so it just made sense to unify and have another way that I could drive traffic. And what was really appealing to me right off the bat was seeing those links at the top that take you to Instagram and YouTube, because I don't have any other way to force traffic over really to my YouTube channel. And so that has resulted in a lot of subscriptions. So for me, it was definitely right off the bat, I want to create content that helps resellers, that also shows my life, and just kind of like I'm all over the place. So I want my TikTok to be that way too, but definitely to help other people who might be going through the same types of journeys or, have the same goals as me as entrepreneurs.
Yeah, I love that. And Mandy, so you're on Instagram, you're on YouTube, you're on TikTok, and I know you said that you were, staying abreast of it for your daughters to be aware, and be in it. What other social media are you on?
I think I'm pretty much on everything possible. I mean, if there's a new platform, I like to try it out. So, I mean, the Smule duet singing apps, I've tried them. I mean, you name it, I've tried it. So, as long as it works with my business right now, I think that's where I've really condensed my usage. So I'm trying to think social wise. I don't really use Facebook Marketplace from a business aspect, but I know that can be utilized a lot. I really stick honestly to TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Those are my 3 favorites. They work well, and you can cross-post content and reuse content that goes with that, whatever theme or whatever you're working on for the week. So,
yeah. Well, and that's what I found too, is so, being able to post something on YouTube, which is more of the long, winded, I'm a talker. So for me, it's kind of like that's that platform, but TikTok, you have to be succinct. And we'll talk more about like limitations and that kind of thing here in a little bit. But Meagan, what about you? What other social media are you currently on?
I'm on Instagram. My main focus right now is Instagram and TikTok. Obviously, my TikTok is like going quickly, so I'm going to put more energy towards that. I dabble a little bit in Twitter. I kind of died off, to be honest, just because of laziness and just being tired, because I'm constantly like trying to juggle the two. I wanted to start a YouTube. A lot of my TikTok followers have talked to me like, please start a YouTube, but I'm like, that's so long. Like I'm like, let's do this. Let's go quick. And so they're like, do a YouTube. I'm like, what would I even say for that long? So you guys impressed me with your YouTube skills. I need to have a little private DM chat about YouTube with you guys.
You got it. Yes. So Logan, what about you? What other social media are you on?
Instagram is my main one, and then like I said, TikTok 4 months ago, and now I'm on TikTok more than Instagram.
That's crazy.
A convert.
It's so crazy. But they all go hand in hand. And I think that kind of goes back to, Mandy, what you were saying is any way that we can draw traffic, that we can get people to see our products or visit our website or, whatever it is going to be a great tool for us to use. So I feel like that's been super important. So the next question I had, I'm actually going to kind of skip and go back to it, I think, in a little bit. But what I want to clarify, since we've talked about the social media networks you've been on and how or where you're selling, but how have you used TikTok to promote your business and what success have you had? So like I don't know who wants to start us off. I feel Logan, I feel like you should start us off just because of recent events. But yeah, I think that's a great question.
Sure, I'll kick us off. I Tori's kind of alluding to, I had a video go viral about 3 weeks ago, and I had 62 followers, and now I have over 4,000 in that short period of time. So it's been a whirlwind. But basically, I started following this. There's this really beautiful niche part of TikTok that's all about small businesses, and it's small businesses promoting other small businesses, where they get their packaging or how they're packaging their items. So I kind of started following the trends in that small group. And so my video that went viral was just me packaging up a couple of small Etsy orders, and I packaged them up in popcorn bags. And all of a sudden, it was just like the ticker just kept going up. It was like, oh, this is 1,000 views. Oh, it's at 2,000. And I actually was out of service camping for the weekend that it went viral. So I had received over 100,000 views in that weekend, and my Etsy exploded because of it. So I received over 50 orders that weekend, which was just unheard of for me. So I got home and just started working. I'm still working on catching up on orders. It's been a whirlwind for sure. But ever since then, I've been doing more packaging videos. Here's my new product videos, kind of how I'm promoting other small businesses videos. I do unboxings of things I receive from other small businesses, whether that's on Poshmark or an Etsy order or anything like that. So I think that community really eats that up a lot.
Yeah, I love it. And so, and it's interesting when you say small business TikTok, because in TikTok, if you don't know, there are different areas of TikTok, I guess, that you can fall into. So, you'll see the things come up in the algorithm that, come up in your feed. And I haven't been part of small business TikTok. I didn't even, it wasn't even in my little area until I started, following more of your videos and all of your videos. And then things started showing up that I hadn't planned on. And so, yeah, it's kind of like you find your niche, you find your people, and that also helps you be successful. So that's awesome. And I actually just did a packaging video today because, again, inspired, just to, show people how you package, I think is a really cool thing. And normally I do like a 20-minute YouTube video where I never shut up. So it was really nice to just have music and show the package. I think people appreciate that brevity. So who wants to next? So how have you used TikTok to promote your business, and what success have you had? Mandy, Meagan?
You choose, dealer's choice.
I say, Meagan, you go.
Well, I totally understand about what you were just saying about viral videos. My 4th video I ever published went almost to 1 million, like really quickly, almost 1 million views, like boom. And I was like, whoa, okay, I'm in. Because it was like 1, 2, 3, boom. And it will take off rapidly. And then I had another one hit like over 100,000 and a couple. It's just, the more you post, you start to get it. You start to see like, okay, this is working for me, or okay, this isn't working for me. I'm going to change it up here. And you see other businesses doing things and you're like, oh, that works. I yelled at a pair of shorts and it has like tons of views at me yelling at a pair of shorts, literally on the ground. And people were like, and the thing is, the more hater comments you get, which people don't understand, is it's a good thing. And it blasts don't delete your hater comments. This is a PSA. Do not delete your hater comments. Let them ride. Your followers will defend you. I get shocked when people defend me on my comments. I'm like, whoa, I have like a whole posse right now. This is crazy. I feel like the cheerleader, and like I got all my cheer squad behind me. And they're like, no.
Stay back.
Stay back. She's nice.
Exactly. Well, and have you seen success in your business as well? So I know with the TikTok success, but
yeah. And I mean, I'm a part-time seller. I don't have over 1,000. I had like 1,200 listings for just a second. But I mean, in under a year of like actually trying, I netted well over 20,000. And it's my first year. So for me, that was like, whoa, because I didn't anticipate any of it. Like I was like, oh, I need car repairs. I need $2,000. If I just get $2,000, that'd be so cool, because then I wouldn't have to take it out of my bank account. And then a house later, and all these plans, and that's where we're at. And Poshmark provided that to me, and that's just on one platform. So I can't even imagine if, you know, spreading to multiple platforms. You guys are pros on multiple platforms. That seems like so much.
So going Etsy for me was a big step. Like leaving my Poshmark comfort zone was definitely a big step in that direction. So I hear you. I'm too ADD to have so many different platforms, and I've tried it. I have, but I can't do it. Can't do it.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. That is so cool. So what about you, Mandy?
I definitely have seen the results of TikTok as far as, you know, what it's done for my business. I think, like Megan touched on, you know, just dabbling around with what content really stuck, but it's been so random at times, what will blow up and what won't. Like I've done some silly kind of reseller comedy ones that have been really successful just because people love silly. So, you know, I love to be silly, so that works out well for me. But I used it in the past to market like Poshmark sales and different things like that to see what would stick. And I didn't really feel like for me personally that stuck. But Etsy, I mean, I think TikTok just loves Etsy. Like they love Etsy creators. And I do think once you tap into that small business niche, you know, all of a sudden you have this like small business TikTok is just absolutely amazing. I have teenagers that DM me and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm opening a store. I'm like, thank you. My teens don't care. So I would love to have somebody who cares and I can mentor. So the mentorship has been unbelievable. But what I've seen at times is I don't even have a chance to list things on Etsy. I'll put a product out there that says like coming soon, and my DMs are flooded on Instagram. I never even get to the point where I can get it to Etsy because of the success of the sales. So I'll just do direct sales on Instagram, or I will have direct purchases from Etsy. So I haven't had a flood of orders yet come in directly as a result of the video, but I have seen a sale from any product video that I've put out there that I can directly say came from this person over here that saw my video.
Awesome. So how does that work? So how are you doing that? So just so I can get a better understanding, with TikTok, are you doing like a little promo, a commercial for the item, and then telling them to go to Instagram? Or how are you doing? Because you mentioned Instagram. I'm just trying to see how it's going.
Yeah. And usually I just kind of leave it open. Most of the time I try not to do anything that looks like too sales pitchy or too finished, because that's not really what TikTok's about. So very rarely will I even put my Etsy shop within the captions, because I actually want people to comment and ask me those questions. That not only boosts the algorithm by engaging with those people. So like Megan said, you know, let the haters sit there. I respond to my haters with love and with like silly comments sometimes, because that's all for that algorithm. And so sometimes people will DM me on TikTok, or they'll go through my link on Insta, follow me on Instagram, DM me, and either ask for business advice or say, I saw this mask in the background of this video, and can you make me one of those masks? And so it's been pretty tremendous to see how not only will people just go right to Etsy and purchase something through a direct link, but they will seek you out if they can't find what it is. And one of the things for me was my Rolo printer, like went viral, semi-viral. And I'm like, everybody loves this darn Rolo printer. Like, what is that printer? And it was just a little musical video of like labels coming out of the printer. But for whatever reason, that stuck with people too. So I, you know, have thought about even brand deals. Like if you have a collab or something, how that might work as well, just like on Instagram.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I think that's, as someone who is a little bit newer to posting, I'm still trying to figure out my niche and figuring out how can I use it to really increase my business. And so that's one of the things, seeing the products or seeing, just hearing you mention, don't make it too sales pitchy, because for me, my day job, I do training content, I do videos, I'm a videographer. So everything is scripted and very, you know, tight, there's outlines. And so with TikTok, it's hard to make it sound more like, hey, dude, we're hanging out and this is something I made. And so I'm trying, it's good to hear that is something that is looked at positively for sure. So when it comes to TikTok, this is a two-part question with the videos, because there's all types of videos, especially, let's pause for a second. And I want to say, if anyone has, just as a reminder in the comments, if anyone has a TikTok or if you want to leave your social media links, go for it, because we will go in and, you know, we want to make sure we're supporting our community and following everybody and learning from each other. So make sure you put those in the comments. But when it comes to TikTok, like I said, there's so many different types of videos, so many different holes you can fall in. But let's start with something a little bit lighter. Like, what are your favorite videos to watch? So as someone who is just a watcher and not a content creator, we'll get to that. So think about that. But what are your favorite type of videos to watch? Meagan, you want to start? Just see your smile.
I love I go through like rabbit holes, okay? I just like kind of just dive in. Right now, I love dollar store crafts. Like I will watch hacks till the cows come home. I'll watch you take a plunger and turn it into a beaded macrame hanger. Let's go. I love that stuff. I love watching people fall. I'll do everything.
I love it. I love those too. And watching them in those really short formats, you can get through so many and you learn so much. Like even just watching embroidery or something, you still can learn just by watching. It's super fun. I love it. All right. Logan, what about you?
I like Meagan said, I love those what I found at Dollar Tree things. I also love the ones where it's 10 things you need on Amazon right now. And I'm like, oh my God, I need all of these things. And I will go through and I have to stop myself from buying everything on those videos because they're brilliant. It's just so funny how much of a buying culture TikTok has, and it does not have to be polished at all. I love like videos where people are lip syncing. I'm actually a huge Disney fan, so like half my feed is cosplay. So people and it's so funny because like a Belle character will be lip syncing to a rap song and stuff like that. And I think that's so much fun.
Yeah, I love those. I love, there's so many, but the lip syncing, so I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. So for me, yeah, it's seeing all the people that are using like John Mulaney quotes to be characters from Harry Potter and those type of things. It's just fun how people do that. And yeah, I think it's super cool. Mandy?
My recent rabbit hole is definitely gardening because it's that time of year and I'm a plant lady. So I learned how to propagate succulents last week and I tried it myself, and I love the learning aspect of TikTok. It's just so fun. So that's been my big one right now. I'm trying to think of what else. I'm a sucker for anything comedy. Like I will laugh until I cry. And sometimes my whole family, I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys check this out. They don't think it's funny at all, but I save it to my phone so I can watch it again. And then health and wellness. I think there's a lot of valuable information as far as not only mental health, but physical health as well. So whether you're starting a diet plan, if you want to learn a new exercise plan, I mean, there's a subsection of TikTok for all of that. So I've been doing a lot of the health and wellness and like food things. Like I think it started with the fluffy coffee and I kind of kept going with the food stuff. And I'm going to go back to what Logan said. I've actually purchased at least 4 things from Amazon because of those stinking Amazon YouTube and TikTok videos. Like that's my daughter's new thing. So we watch these Amazon videos and we're like, oh, we already have that. Oh, we bought that last week. So I love the Amazon, like buy this stuff on Amazon videos too.
That's awesome. So I got into, I'm also a big Hamilton fan. So I'm a big nerd. If you didn't know, I'm a huge nerd. And so when, I saw Hamilton in Seattle, but when it came out on Disney Plus, I was in my feed. It was like for days. It was just people doing different things about Hamilton. And so it got a little much. So sometimes you have to click on a different video to get out of that rotation. So if you're finding that you're getting too many videos in one area, you want to mix it up. And I also watch, so something that is, and you mentioned educational, I have found that TikTok has a lot of fun things, watch the dogs, watch all that. But something that I really love is learning about other, cultures. And so for me, I have I grew up in Arizona. And so for me with like the Native American culture has always been something I have just been so fascinated with. So I get to see as it comes up in my feed, the different dances, and they give you history lessons. And so it's such an amazing tool for marketing. Yes, 100%, but also I think for just different types of education. So
Totally agree.
So when it comes to videos, so that is the type of videos that we like to watch, but what about the videos you like to post? So what are your favorite? And you've already given us some examples of videos that you've been doing, but what are the videos that get you really excited that you're just like, oh, I can't wait to do this and post this?
I had one that kept me up all night the other night. I came up with this idea. So there's this one TikTok that is to the voice of What Did Sweet Veruca Say from Willy Wonka. And it's always from the perspective of either Veruca or her father. And so I was like, oh my God, what if it was from the perspective of the candy shop owner, of her walking in and buying something? I was like, I have to do this right now. And so I woke up and got dressed and ready like first thing in the morning, Saturday morning, and had to do it. It's just so funny, like those little ideas that just spin in your head and you just have to do it all of a sudden. Usually I don't do front camera. Like my stuff is usually like, here's scrunchies or here's packaging. You know, I'm not usually front of camera. So that was fun.
Yeah. Well, and that reminds me of something else too. So with TikTok, at the top, you have your For You page, and then you also have your followers. And so that's something that I found recently that I wasn't switching it. So like a lot of your videos I haven't seen because it wasn't showing up on my For You page. Mm-hmm. So I think that that's another thing to be mindful of if you're new to TikTok, right? Is making sure that if you're following people and you want to support them, make sure you go to that tab and you like and comment on their videos, because if you're just in the For You page, it's not going to help them out very much unless you see them.
Mm-hmm. That's a really good point. And I forget to do that every now and then. And I'm like, why haven't I seen any of my reseller friends lately? And so then I have to kind of go and, either go through who I'm following or start going into reseller content again and start seeing that come back up on my feed again.
Exactly. Yeah. And that was something I just learned it this last week because when I was trying to watch all of your videos, I'm like, why aren't they showing up? And I'm like, I need to go make that happen. So you learn as you get to know a platform for sure. So what else? What are your favorite type of videos, Meagan, Mandy? Go for it, Meagan.
My favorite type of video to do is any type of video. I mean, I don't have this like well curated situation, and every time I try to do something that's really involved and like super expressive or creative, or like I took a long time on it, swear it flops every time. If I'm walking down the street and I pull up my phone and I go, hey, carry different sizes, people are like, oh. Like anytime I just do like a quick snippet, like anytime, that's when I'm going to get it. So as far as me getting excited, they always flop. So I'm kind of a sad story because every time I'm just giving like pure dryness. The other day I was whispering because I was in my backyard and it went like crazy. And I was like, what the heck?
No, but I love that because I think that as we compare all the platforms, every platform is a little different. If you are a long-winded talker, you have YouTube, right? If you love Instagram for pictures, which for me, Insta was like where I lived all the time. And Logan, you mentioned that now you're spending a little more time on TikTok, and I'm starting to see that shift. I'm not 100%, but I'm definitely spending more time over there because I think that it is, especially with someone with like ADD, to be able just to record, like this morning, recording a quick, like I'm packaging up my packages, just recording it really fast and doing a voiceover, and then I'm done. I don't have to think about it again. Mm-hmm. So what I've also found too with that though, is that and it may just be me because I'm still new, but I will start to see likes much later than like Instagram. Like with Instagram, I will immediately start to see those, but on TikTok, I mean, I'll usually wait like 12 hours or so until people are on the platform. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, it is like that. Usually your video rolls out over a period of time. So even if you have a viral video that was viral several weeks ago, I've continued to see steady engagement with that same post over time. So you'll continue to see those same videos pop up in your likes or your comments and things like that. And it'll have another surge sometimes too.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that. I love it. Yeah. I have one video that had 1,600 views. That's my highest, but it was like that exciting, like, what's happening? How did this happen? It does feel, like unexpected. So, that's pretty good. So Mandy, what about you? Your favorite videos to make?
Anything that makes my teenagers frustrated because I have more TikTok clout than them.
That is amazing.
Honestly, I love to tease them. Like, I'll be like, oh my gosh, my TikTok's blowing up right now. I have a viral video. And they're just like, they get so mad at me. But they've also learned about consistency and finding a niche. So I think it's been valuable for them. But my recent favorite was the pentatonic sound that one of the pentatonic singers did about the mask. And as soon as I saw it, it was like, Logan, I saw it late at night and I was like, oh my gosh, how many videos have been made with this sound? Because that's another key for engagement. So if you find something that you're like, this is golden, chances are everyone's going to think that too. So then if you go into that sound, the little record spinning, you can see how many videos have been created off of that. And at that point in time, it was like 40 videos. And so I couldn't sleep because I was like, oh my gosh, what if there's like 120 and I could have a viral video with this? And I took like 3 hours to do it the next day. And I was like, it's at 150 videos now. And am I ever going to be on the top of the videos? And I was making costumes for it. I was sweating. It was pretty absurd, honestly, but it was so fun at the same time. And I still love watching it. Like, I don't know if that makes me slightly narcissistic, but I love watching my own videos when I make something really cool. And I'm like, this is so funny. And people are like, okay.
No, I do too. I think it's just great. It shows that you're proud of what you did.
And it's just fun. It's fun to take something and kind of put your own spin on it and just see where it lands. And like Meagan said, sometimes you can do a lot of prep work and it flops totally. And then you'll do some random thing that's just very short, unedited, and it just takes off.
Yeah. Well, and here's a funny story. So I actually saw your version before I saw Scott Hoying's version, which isn't that crazy? Because I follow Pentatonics and I was like, what is this song? This is cool. And then in my feed, his showed up and I'm like, okay, that's crazy. So
that makes
I saw it on Insta, but I saw it on Insta. So that's the other thing, how everything's connected. So, you know, I have been posting TikToks to Instagram because I feel like it's getting even more exposure there and it's similar in the story. So yeah. And then, you know, it leads you back to TikTok. So
did you know there's a little trick with that? If you're sharing it over to your Instagram story on TikTok, download it as a live photo and the TikTok will be smaller in the corner. And then it's a lot easier to hide or people don't notice as much in your Instagram.
Yeah,
too.
I love that tip. I love it. And that's actually one of the, we were going to talk about tips that we have. And I think that's a really good start to that. So it's a good segue into that next section because there's a lot of hidden tips with TikTok that someone that's just starting out isn't going to know. And you could, you know, do what you normally do, Google or whatever, and get information. But just listening to TikTok, going on TikTok and searching for that information, you'll find it. But that was one of the cool things that I found out. About saving it as a live picture. And then it was a game changer. So let's talk about, we're going to go into that, but with TikTok itself, just to kind of clarify, there are some limitations. So when you post a video, you already mentioned, I think, you know, Meagan, you mentioned this, the time frame. So they're short, they're super short. You have like 60 seconds or less that you have to get everything in, which could be to some people a limitation. Also in the description, you only have 150 characters, which could be a limitation because hashtags are going to be truncated and you have to be very succinct with what you're saying. So what have you found with those limitations that you can actually use those limitations impactfully, or how do you handle those limitations, or do you not even find them limitations at all?
I think of them as gifts.
Little gifts.
Like, I literally think that TikTok is the greatest social media gift I've ever gotten because it makes you cut out all the garbage, all the extras, all the things. RuPaul says it best: take off an accessory before you leave the door. You've got too much on. One off. You know what I mean? It's 15 to 60 seconds. If you can't explain what you got to say in 15 to 60 seconds, you need to do a series. You need to go, here's 15 seconds about this specific thing, 15 seconds about, and it becomes more palatable because the attention span of today's population is short. So getting your point across right away is super beneficial, and I can make more. Unlike Instagram, TikTok responds crazy good for me when I post 10 videos a day. When I was posting 10 videos a day, I was getting hundreds, and I mean hundreds of followers per day. I got up to 10,000 within 6 months, easy. And then when I started doing just one a day, you know, within like a month, I got another 1,000. And it's only because I slowed down my posting. So it's very much the opposite of Instagram. It's like, try way less hard, be more simplistic, be basic. Yes, all of these things are gifts to me. And then on top of it, post as much as you want. Everybody wants you.
See, and that's the thing, yeah, because on Instagram, if you post too much, you get shadow banned. Like if you're liking too much or following too much or posting, like it doesn't have the same impact. So that's, I like that too. I like it. What else? How else? What about the limitations for?
I don't see them as limitations at first because I came from YouTube. It was different for me. I'm also a talker. I love to teach. I love to put way more detail than anyone needs into my stories. And so it was a struggle for me. And when I found that there was 15 or 60 seconds, that was a game changer, first of all. But then when I realized that it actually is better to have short videos because that typically gets you more reach, I'm like, all right, let's do this. 15 seconds it is. If I have to break up my information into 4 videos and post 4 times in a day, I get more followers that way anyway. So my rambling is a gift because I just take it and put it into tiny little chunks, and it becomes 10 posts where it is literally one Instagram post where you'll have a paragraph of tips. You can spread that out over a week of content easily on TikTok, and it's fun because the more you post, the better. But I do a lot of voiceovers for mine. So I have found using outside apps like Splice for me works really well for me to just sync things together and really condense information. Then I can, combine screenshots with video, and I really like having that usability. So if you feel like you need to cram a lot of info into a short amount of time, you can add some captions in there or a voiceover and really double it up. And if somebody has to watch it twice to get all of the information, guess what? That's a good thing because it's called rewatch and you get better engagement that way. So cram that info in. Don't make it look too pitchy, but cram it in any way that you can, and really try not to focus on those like hashtags that people are like, use the popular hashtags. Stick with what is in your niche, because you'll have a popular hashtag pop into your niche every now and then that you can use, and great. But you really want to stick with the same hashtags that are relevant to your content, and just keep not reusing the same 3, but just using those relevant sets of hashtags to pull in people who want more of the same content that they've already watched.
Awesome. Well, and it's such a good point. You mentioned the captioning piece of it. And that was something, Meagan, you actually asked me about that recently, because I have an app that I use to do closed captioning on Instagram. And you're like, you could use that on TikTok. And I thought, I saw
that. My mind exploded. I said, what are you doing? First off, give me what that is. And second off, start using it immediately.
I didn't even think about that, because I'm like, oh, well, I'm just going to use the tools inside of TikTok, but we don't have to do that. You're not limited. Like you said, I mean, you can pull different tools together to create content. So I thought that was really awesome. So anything.
And what was that app? What was that app? That
app was called Clip-O-Matic. So Clip-O-Matic, for anyone looking, it is a paid app, but it's super cheap. It was like $5 or something. I don't know. One time, and then you have it, and then you can use it on Instagram, TikTok, whatever you want. But it's super cool. I loved it.
That is life-changing.
I am so glad that you called me out on that. So thank you. So Logan, anything to add on this question?
One thing that I like to do, because I do so many like packaging videos, I will shoot it on my regular camera video, and then I'll pull it into TikTok and I'll speed it up 3 times. So that it's going super fast and people get the idea of what you're doing. And then I'll do a voiceover in TikTok to kind of walk people through what I'm doing. And then I'll try and just make it a conversation. Right here, this is what I'm doing, and this is what I'm putting on this package, and this is who it's going to and what she needs it for, and kind of just trying to keep it more conversational, and people really engage with that a lot.
Awesome. I love it. So one thing that I'll say to the viewers out there, to everybody, if you have any questions, let us know. We are here. Well, I don't know really anything, but our ladies are here to answer all of your questions. We have a couple more things that I want to talk about. My favorite thing I want to talk about next really is what advice you have for new TikTokers. And so that can be, and this could take up the whole hour, to be honest, because there's so many of those little tips like Logan, you were mentioning, and just all the different ways that there's tips and tricks within TikTok to utilize. So I'm going to say we go around and say just one that's kind of most important to you or that you use. And then if we have more time or more questions, we can go into that. But I think when people are first starting out on an app, they may get a little nervous or unsure how it works, and then they get frustrated because they can't use it. So I think that's a good topic to talk about.
I would say for first-time downloaders is just to get on the For You page and go through other people's videos and see what you like. Make sure to heart it so that it tells TikTok to serve you more of that content. So that if you're a watcher and you want to see, oh, I want to go and see more of this style of video from whether it be small businesses or Disney or whatever that niche is for you, is make sure that you're following those people and giving them the love that you are enjoying it. And then you'll get served more of that content and it'll inspire you in your content.
Love it. Next.
I would just say, if you're looking at doing this strictly for a business perspective, definitely sign up for the pro account and utilize the insights and get familiarized with what that looks like. You can really start to understand time of day posting, frequency of posting, just what is really going to help build your account. So if you're wanting to grow that account, I would say start as a pro account right off the bat and utilize the insights that you can get from having that account.
Okay, so my mind is blown. I did not know there was a pro account. Mm-hmm. What? I know. What am I doing? What am I even doing? I have a pro account on Insta. So the thing is, I know that it's out there. I just didn't even think about TikTok this way. So Mandy, you just changed my life. Can I convert? Just like with
Absolutely.
Insta?
I think it's just a matter of clicking up the 3 dots and switching over, because I know mine says switch to personal. So you should be able to just click up at the top and make a switch there.
Analytics and data, yes, please. Insights. What am I doing with my life? Okay, that's right there. Okay, excellent. All right, Meagan, surprise me.
Okay, well, I will surprise you. So as we all know, hopefully, there's a word, little letter that you can click, and you can do word bubbles, which is like my main form of getting rewatches. Is I'll pop word bubbles off, and you can time them for a set duration. What a lot of people don't know is you don't have to write them and then do them one at a time with the duration one at a time. You can actually write all of your word bubbles at once. So just make a bunch of different word bubbles. Do not set the duration till you're done with all of them. And then if you click one and you hit set duration, you can actually click each of them and move them around and set the duration all at once without having to go through that whole process. And a lot of people don't know that. And when I found that out, my brain exploded because it takes 10% of the time.
Wow.
5. Yeah.
That's huge.
Well, and that's why I haven't really been using them. I've used them a little, but not because I'm like, that takes too much time. I don't have time. I'll do a voiceover instead. But
and then you're trying to click it to edit it. Maybe you want to move it, but this makes it so you can do it all at once without having to go back and try to click it while your video is streaming.
That is, again, another. See, this is why we have such amazing experts on to give us this information. No matter what level you're on, if you're just starting off, you've been on for a few months and you don't know what you're doing, this is such a great conversation. Okay, so there's more tips. So I don't know if you have any more tips that you want to share, because I think that the tips are going to be so useful to everybody, because I'm learning so much already. Any more tips that come to your head that you want to share? And then we have a couple of questions from the folks.
So many.
I say just try it. Just try it. If you're nervous, just try it. Start recording videos. You can always draft them if you don't like them, just to get yourself comfortable with what the formatting feels like, and the countdown timer, if you use that, or just all the different effects and transitions that they have. Just play with it. And you don't even have to post. Just do it. Just try to make some things and see how it feels.
Exactly. And with, so one of my things that I found was voiceover, and I know it's a simple one, but for some reason I did not, it wasn't intuitive to me that voiceover was there. So I was doing everything where I would speak at the same time I recorded. And then if I didn't like it, I would just erase and keep going back. And that was so frustrating. So once I found voiceover, it was a total different game changer, because then I'm just like, oh, let me just get all the screenshots and then go back through and use the voiceover little option that's there. So love it. Love it. And there's so many tips.
I have one. If you're syncing to another person's audio or to a song, use the timer function. There's a little timer, little button, and you can move the dial to stop at a certain point so that it'll only record up to that point, and then you can reset whether there's a lot of videos that are like changing your clothes or things like that. Or for me, I add like another scrunchie into screen and things. So just use that timer function to your advantage so you can squish it down to, okay, I'm only recording up to this part of this song, and then it will stop automatically and you don't have to worry about hitting your phone and causing it to like move or anything like that.
Love
And
it.
I'll tell you, I do a lot of my TikTok videos completely out of the app, totally, because I found the usability of it. I struggled with it. So like we talked about the captions and duration, using a different app for me, using a third-party app and then just pulling it back in as an upload to TikTok has been for me a time saver. So I still struggle with some of the aspects of TikTok and some of the little features, and I would rather take it outside of TikTok, do my voiceover. I can speed it. I think in the app that I use, I can speed it up to 10 times the speed. So like Logan mentioned, speeding things up. And you can do captions and voiceovers right in there. And so for me, it just made it easier, and I don't know why. And I still defer to that way of doing things. So I can just record as I go on my phone and then throw it all into this app, fix it. And I've even learned how to take a video now from TikTok and save it to my phone, put it into the app, extract the audio from the original audio, put it right in with mine to make sure it's perfectly synced. So I did a wheel of outfits, which was insane. And it was like 40 outfits. And that was how I had to do that to get the little clicks to actually match up. And it took a long time, but that wouldn't have been feasible for me to even attempt within the app. So if you get frustrated within the app creating content, don't just quit, because there's other options to create it and pull it back into the app. And it still looks organic. It still looks like it was created right in TikTok. So yeah.
Another tip with that, Mandy, I love that video you made with all of the different outfits. I recently I know it must have taken you days. Days. I recently found a function in audio that's auto sync, and you can it'll sync whether it's video clips or photos, and it'll auto sync to the audio for you. So if you have 40 photos and it has 40 clicks, it'll auto sync it for you, which is pretty cool.
That is cool.
You can also do that clip adjustment. Honestly, if you're taking, okay, so just plot twist. If you're taking all those little, so yours was like zit, 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 right? All those little clips. If you do the timer button and you just do your little click, and then what she was saying, you time it to that, and then you do your next clip and your next clip and your next clip and your next clip, you can speed it up or slow it down in the times, right? But you can actually go through, if you click into the next button, try it with 3 clips. You click into where it goes into edit, and you can adjust those individual clips as short or as long as you want right in the TikTok app. Mm-hmm. It is a lot easier than it seems to do the adjustments. And then you can add or dub over with the voiceover in app, or you can sync it up with the music, and you can start the music wherever you want, and it does auto sync. So you can actually, it just takes a little bit of investment, but you can really, it can really be all immersed in one little thing if you just learn the things. And you can actually just look that up on TikTok, because they have 15-second videos showing you how to do it. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's what I've been spending a lot of my time during quarantine doing, is not necessarily posting, but like learning how to utilize the app, because I was a lot like you, Mandy. I was like, oh God, this is a lot. But once I learned how to use the in-app functions, holy smokes, things go fast.
And I feel like that is what we need to do. You need to, with anything, you need to do it. You need to play with it. Just like Mandy said, just get it in your hands, play around with it, make mistakes. Like, it doesn't matter. You can delete them, or just use drafts. Don't even post them. Yeah. So question kind of around that. If you post a video, do you recommend deleting it if it doesn't have views, or if you don't like it anymore, does it have any negative impacts? So that was a question.
The only time I've deleted a video is after 30 minutes it had 0 views, and I realized I'd been shadow banned because an account called Not a Human had gone through and liked like 50 of my videos. So I was like, oh no, I've been shadow banned. So I just deleted it and re-uploaded it again. But otherwise, I leave all my content up. There's also a switch to private button if you don't want it on your feed, and you can switch that on and off.
Okay, I've seen that. And I think, so I had to delete a couple of videos because the sound disappeared. So because it was all of a sudden it was trademarked, that it wasn't trade, or wherever I got the sound from probably was removed. I don't know, and that was sad because that one actually was doing well, and I hate that. And I'm like, no, and now it's not doing well, but whatever. So what? Okay. Oh, I have some more questions that came in. So let's see. Kind of the last question that people want, or a big question they wanted to know, is the fastest way to gain followers. And I think Meagan, you mentioned post a lot of videos, but is there anything else that people can do to expand their followers quickly over on TikTok?
Focus on hashtags. Don't worry about making mistakes. Rapid. This is my strategy. Everyone's strategy can be different. Everyone's strategy can be whatever it is. Everyone has theoretical conspiracy theories about TikTok algorithms. What I've seen is I post like a crazy person. I fill my caption with hashtags instead of a caption. I put the word bubbles so people who are listening at night with their partner in bed next to them can see what my video is saying. And then I just rapid post. Anything I don't like later on, delete, or I put it on private. I'm constantly fluctuating. I will repost a video if it doesn't go well, and I'll repost it with a popular sound, and then it does better. So that's my TikTok strategy.
I love it. Well, and I love that you said with a partner next to you, because Bill, I'm constantly like laughing with my earbuds in, just watching TikTok, and the ones that have captions, and I show him, he can't hear it, but he sees the captions and he laughs, and I'm like, oh, that's so smart, because now you're bringing in someone else that may not have been a part of it. So I like that tip too. What else? Any other tips for gaining followers on TikTok?
I think focusing on sounds and trends. So you do have the page that kind of shows you the things that are trending, and often you'll find that there's something right within your niche that's trending. And so if you can make a video that's related to that and use the trending hashtags or a trending sound and hop on that really early, that can really help gain some momentum. So like I mentioned earlier with the mask video, I'm always looking at if I think something is just brilliant and I can reinvent that and it's really early on, then having that sound popularity or the hashtag popularity, using that trend and kind of riding along that trend works really well for gaining popularity and followers, but you need to keep going. So you get that video, you're like, yes, it had, 120K views. That's when you keep going though. And like Meagan said, just make it, and Logan both said, make it private. If you don't necessarily like it, do a repost if you don't think it gained traction, and maybe look at the times that you posted it and see if it was timing.
Awesome. Well, I know, Logan, so I couldn't get Candy Shop out of my head for so long after I watched your video with all of your branding and the Candy Shop song. I was just like, it was perfect.
It was so funny. I showed that to my kids and they wanted to watch it over and over again. I have a 2- and a 5-year-old and they were just sitting there, I want to see it again. And it's just so funny. Selfishly, I love that video.
You should. That's the thing, is you should all be proud of everything you're creating. There's no shame in watching your videos over and over again. There's none at all. One of the things I will say is after this video, I am going to get everyone's information. I didn't get it in the links below, but to everyone watching, I am going to get our wonderful ladies down below, all of their links, so you can go follow them, watch all the videos that we've been chatting about. Give them a like, give them a comment, and start building your TikTok as well. Because I think that, we've heard a lot of how it can really impact your business. And I am so distracted right now because Meagan, your picture is beautiful. The light is coming in at like the most perfect. It's like screenshot. I love it. It's like both ways.
That's so nice. I promise it's not a filter.
Natural filter. It's the natural filter. So any other questions, or we'll say anything last that you want to man, I can't speak. It's been a long Monday. Any last advice that you want to leave everyone with before we sign off for our session?
I have some advice. Everyone should follow Mandy. That's my advice.
Oh,
I love Mandy's TikTok. I reached out to her because I was like, I'm obsessed with you. Please be my pal. And she was so sweet. And I'm sorry, I just had to, because it's so true. And also your TikToks are so fun. I love that you're just like you, authentic, raw. It's freaking awesome.
Agreed.
And also just be yourself. And I know I told you this story. Like it's literally just use this as an opportunity to start fresh on social media, where you just get to be you. please just give it a try. Give being you a try. That's the best life advice, I think.
I love it.
Yeah.
I have found that it's much easier to be me on TikTok than it is on like Instagram, which I always felt that I was me on Instagram, but I feel like I'm a buttoned up version. And TikTok, it's like, you know what? I'm going to show you how I made a cocktail and put something behind it and just stuff that wouldn't normally be relevant, but
Yeah.
I love it. Love it. So Mandy, Logan, what are your last pieces of advice as we wrap up?
I say just get on and try it. TikTok is so fun, and be really careful not to stay up all night because it's super addicting.
It is. It's very addictive. I say just get on there and just like learn about whatever it is you want to learn about. Start by lurking. If you don't even have an account, just start by lurking and watching and hitting the like button and going from there. But understand that the more authentic and raw you are, and the more you just tap into what your natural experiences are, the better. You can honestly go on and talk about your childhood experiences. You could talk about anything, and there will be people that connect with you so long as you're genuine and you stick with it and stay consistent.
Mm-hmm. Yes, 100%. And if you do sign up for TikTok and make a video, go in, tag us or let us know, because we would love to support you as well. I'm all about giving that community love out there. So ladies, stick around. Don't click off yet so we can chat after this. But I want to thank everybody for coming on. And this was so much fun. It was kind of the spur of the moment. I was really excited to share what I've learned from these amazing ladies with all of you. And hopefully you learned some really great things. If you think of any questions after the session's over, feel free to send a message my way and I will gather some questions up to them and, we'll give you some more information. So that is it, everybody. What a pleasure, ladies. You've been amazing. And until next time, everybody, see ya.